What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. Now in this video, we're going to be going over some more details on the Brock Boeser signing and more details on his contract as in our original video. And of course, that video too, I was kind of, trying to be fast to, get it up and get it out there and uploaded. That, the final details were not available at the time. So in this video, it's probably going to be a short one, but we're just going to go over the details on Brock Boeser's new contract that he has signed. But before we do that, we have breaking news. I know this is not technically Canucks related, but one of the Canucks' targets, at least for the second line center position, Mikael Granlund has just, as of within the last couple minutes, signed with the Anaheim Ducks on a 3-year contract worth $7 million AAV. So that is a huge signing for the Anaheim Ducks. And as like what I just tweeted, they are looking pretty stacked down the middle. They have Leo Carlsson. They have Ryan Strome. They do have Mason McTavish, but he can also play on the wing. And now it looks like Mikael Granlund is going to be their third line center. That is quite the talent they have down the middle for the Anaheim Ducks. Obviously, you have a young guy in Leo Carlsson. You have a veteran in Ryan Strome. And now you got Mikael Granlund, who's a 60-plus point guy, as your third line center. Like Anaheim is making a run for it. And as I mentioned on Kempner Canucks on Rev Treb's stream a little bit earlier, I do think that Anaheim is going to be a playoff team this upcoming season. And they're going to be very, very good this upcoming season, especially with them acquiring Chris Kreider from the New York Rangers. But hey, Anaheim is looking pretty darn good. So I have to, give kudos to Anaheim on getting Mikael Granlund. I was not expecting Anaheim to be the team that would land him. So I'm a little surprised by that. But let's get into our Brock Boeser video. And actually, before I do that, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of that incredible artwork you see there behind my shoulder. So definitely go check them out, GassyJackArt.com. You can also find Jack on Instagram at Gassy Jack Art. So yeah, definitely check them out if you would like prints of your own. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Where was it? Okay, so here's the official article from Canucks Army, obviously written by a good friend of the show, David Quadrelli. He goes on to say, the Vancouver Canucks are re-signing forward Brock Boeser. According to multiple reports, the deal is 7 years long at $7.25 million annually. According to Sportsnet's Dan Murphy, Boeser, 28, scored 25 goals this past season and added 25 assists through 75 games played this past season. The year before that, Boeser enjoyed a career year, scoring 40 goals and adding 33 assists through 81 games. The Canucks' option to sign Boeser to an 8-year deal expired at midnight Eastern last night, hence why this one comes in at 7 years. The deal will see Boeser earn $50.75 million, and his agent Ben Hankinson tweeted about the deal moments after it was announced. He goes on to say, congrats Brock Boeser and Canucks on 7 years times $7.25 million equals $50.75 million with Vancouver Canucks in the final minutes. Really, did you expect him to sign anywhere else? So Brock Boeser's agent, Ben Hankinson, having a little fun with the fans there on Twitter. And yes, he goes on to say that this deal literally happened down to the wire in the final minutes. It was a last-minute deal. With the salary cap going up, Boeser's new deal will quickly take up an even lower percentage of the Canucks' salary cap than his old deal did. Here's some quick cap math. This past season, at a $6.65 million cap hit with an upper limit of $88 million, Boeser took up 7.5% on the Canucks' books. In 2025-2026, at his new $7.25 million cap hit, Boeser will take up 7.6%. In 2026-2027, that number goes down to 7. In 2027-2028, when the cap rises to $113.5 million, that number drops all the way down to 6.4% with 4 more years left on the deal. Thus, this isn't much of a raise, quote unquote, for Boeser as he gets the term he was looking for to remain with the team. He never really wanted to leave. The Canucks originally drafted Boeser 23rd overall in the 2015 NHL draft. Boeser has registered 204 goals and 230 assists through 554 regular season games played. Boeser was a point-per-game player during the Canucks' 2023-2024 playoff run, tallying 7 goals and 5 assists through 12 games. This is the Canucks' third piece of business of the day as they signed goaltender Thatcher Demko and Connor Garland to contract extensions to kick off the day early Tuesday morning. After signing Boeser, the Canucks are tight on cap space, so it will be interesting to see what else they try to accomplish today. Obviously, Pius Suter is still on the market. And I saw a tweet from Rick Dollywall mentioning that Granlund, having not signed, was holding up the center market and was likely holding up a Suter deal. But now that Michael Granlund is off the board, perhaps Pius Suter will be the next, center, or at least top. Okay, I don't want to say top 6, but big center left on the market. Obviously, Granlund was above him, but now it's all on Suter. And now the question is, where is he going to sign? Are the Canucks going to make any more moves here today? We haven't heard anything since the Boeser re-signing. Obviously, may as well talk about this here. Now former Vancouver Canuck, Noah Juulsen signed a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Flyers, reuniting with Rick Tocchet. Quads would write this article as well. Noah Juulsen is reuniting with Rick Tocchet. The now ex-Vancouver Canucks defenseman has signed a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Flyers, according to Rick Dollywall of Donnie and Dolly. Juulsen appeared in 35 games this past season before having his season shut down due to injury. A native of Surrey, BC, Juulsen came to Vancouver after the Canucks traded Olli Juolevi to the Florida Panthers in October 2021. Over his Canucks tenure, Juulsen played in 99 games for the AHL Abbotsford Canucks and 109 games for the big club. He also appeared in 2 playoff games during the Canucks' 2023-2024 playoff run. A shutdown defenseman, Juulsen was originally drafted by the Montreal Canadiens in the first round of the 2015 NHL entry draft at 26th overall. After spending most of his career in the AHL, Juulsen established himself as a 7th defenseman in Vancouver and found most of his success under Rick Tocchet. Juulsen now heads to Philadelphia to work with Tocchet again. Tocchet signed a 5-year contract with the Flyers earlier in the offseason after coaching the Canucks since taking over for Bruce Boudreau midway through the 2022-2023 season. The Canucks presumably had at least some interest in bringing Juulsen back, as they reportedly declined his request to speak with other teams ahead of free agency. That being said, with young defenseman Tom Willander, Elias Pettersson, EP25, and Victor Mancini knocking on the door for NHL jobs, Juulsen seemed far more like a nice to have than a need to have for the Canucks. According to Dollywall, the Canucks eventually granted Juulsen's request to speak with other teams, which is likely why Juulsen was the first free agent signing after free agency officially opened at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that's interesting to hear that Juulsen was the first signing. Noah Juulsen goes to Philadelphia. Just going to quickly check any more breaking news. Oh, wow. So this isn't a free agent thing, but I'd like to think this is pretty big. Bob McKenzie of TSN has announced his retirement after 48 years in the industry. So that is huge. Obviously, Bob McKenzie is very well known, and I absolutely loved Bob McKenzie. And yes, happy retirement to Bob McKenzie. Very well deserved and very well earned. I know Frank Saravelli also ended his tenure at Daily Faceoff just a few days ago. So there's that as well. But let's get into the topic of this video. Well, we already did cover the Brock Boeser contract, but let's actually look at Puckpedia, as it's, I know we looked at it earlier, but it obviously they have updated the contract with the details that we mentioned. Let me just quickly go over this. Has it been updated? Yes, it has. So I'm going to quickly share the screen. Boom. Excuse me. There we go. What the? Oh. Does that do anything? I'm not sure. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to figure out StreamYard here. I want to make this bigger, but I'm not sure how. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Because it's... I wonder if I go like this. Is that... Yeah, okay, that's better. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. Oh. Don't think you guys can see me there. That worked? No. No, that's too small. All right. I'm just going to go with this for now. Actually, this work better? No, I can't increase the size. Okay, so I'm just going to go with this. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So, looking back on the contract, so as we mentioned, base cap hit, AAV, and base, or no, cap hit and the AAV is still the same. Base is just a little above 2 million. And then he does, in fact, I know we mentioned before that there were no signing bonuses. Well, there actually are. They just weren't added on Puckpedia yet. But the first year, he has a 6 million signing bonus. Still no performance bonuses. And then he also does have a no move clause through the first 4 years of this contract. His signing bonus goes down to 4 million in year 2. Remains at 4 million in year 3, and then it drops down to 3 million in year 5, 6, or rather it drops down to 3 million for the rest of the contract. And then he, as we mentioned, he has a no move clause for the first 4 years, and then it drops down to a no move, a modified no trade clause. Yeah, it says down here, no move clause for the first 4 years. And then it's a 15-team no trade, so about half the league. So there's the updated details on the Brock Boeser contract for the Vancouver Canucks, and I'm still, I'm still in shock over this, that the Vancouver Canucks were able to get this done and get it signed, sealed, and delivered. But now that we know that the details, and I know I'm probably a couple hours late. As you guys know, I was on Kempner's stream. We were talking, and we had a great chat. And yeah, so those are the details for the Brock Boeser contract. Obviously, we're still waiting to see where Pius Suter lands, and obviously, we also know that the Vancouver Canucks are right up against the cap, and they're likely done. Excuse me. When it comes to free agents, they're going to have to get that second line center via a trade. And obviously, while doing so, they're going to have to move out money. So maybe that's how they acquire their second line center. But of course, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, or at the start of this video rather, Michael Granlund is off the board, so they don't have a whole lot of options left. They could still circle back on Pius Suter. I'm just quickly checking to see if there's been anything. Nope, nothing that I've seen as of yet. Oh, wait. All right, so nothing to report on the Suter front, but once again, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. You can find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. And feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. And if you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, once again, feel free to give us a follow as well as rate and review us. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let's go Canucks. And I'll see you guys next time.